Hello guys. Oh, we can't even see blue anymore, so let's bring me in closer. Okay, so welcome to a new reading vlog. I have not started reading anything yet. I want to go to the library today, hopefully, and pick up some new books, some fresh meat, because I did DNF these two books that I picked up recently. One was about this magical tower that was being built bordering enemies' lands using enemy technology. It just wasn't for me. And the other one was a sequel to a book that I thought was okay the first time around, but I continued on because of a main character named Mateo, who's a vampire, and I did not like how this was going with that. And I'm very glad I DNF'd, because when I decided to DNF and skip to the end, ooh, I would have been furious. I would have been livid. So those two were DNF'd. That's all I've gone up to so far. I haven't started reading anything else. Today is Indiana's 11th birthday. She's 11 today. And so I've got her party. We're going to be making Moru dolls, and I will take you along for that. So that's on the agenda, and I will see you guys. I think I might go to the library afterwards, maybe, to pick up some books. I might show you that. Okay guys, I'm just popping in because I forgot to give an update. So things might change a bit on the channel in terms of upload frequency or filming schedule, things like that, because my life is getting very busy. There's two reasons for this. Two reasons why I'll be spending less time dedicated to my YouTube channels, and that's because one, I want to spend more time doing other things. So I'm getting back into films and I'd like to spend more time doing that. I saw the new Anaconda. I'm giving that a 3 out of 5. It wasn't as funny as I was hoping it was going to be. And then I saw, what movie did I see? Wait, is that Sylvie? I saw the new Predator Badlands. I gave that a 3.5, and I saw, thanks to my dad, he came over and he logged into his Netflix so my daughter and her friends who were having a sleepover at our house could binge the last season of Stranger Things. I didn't watch that with them. I try to not be in their whatever room they're in. Just feed them and leave. Because of that though, I watched the new Knives Out film, Dead something, and I gave that a 3. But I want to spend more time watching films. I've never seen, it's a travesty, even though I love Del Toro's movies, I haven't seen Crimson Peak. I got turned off it because I heard that it contains family incest, but it's a quintessential gothic film, I reckon. So I am going to rectify that. I want to see that. But yes, I want to spend more time watching film. I want to get back into fitness. So I'm starting to feel like I've gotten a bit of a grip on my latest chronic illness diagnosis. And I think I'm well enough to start exercising again, rather than just, gentle stretching or very short walks. I think I can get back into weightlifting on a more regular basis. So I want to do that. And the biggest thing is my daughter might be homeschooling, my eldest. As you know, we had issues with the school last year because of bullying, refusal to change her from a class. It took 3 months of lobbying. Well, this year they put her in a class with the same bullies, and I wanted to scream. There are 15 year 9 classes, and yet they put her in a class with the bullies that she missed 3 months of school of because she couldn't be in the same class as them. So I feel like they don't care about her whatsoever, to show me that this is probably not the school for us. But yeah, with her chronic illness, she doesn't feel like any school, they're all physically demanding. Schools are very physically demanding, is going to work for her. So I might be a homeschooling mum, which is terrifying because I'm not prepared. I am not prepared. I don't have a curriculum. I don't have a lesson plan lined out with Victoria. They really don't want people to homeschool. So they make it very difficult. But I have to have, a year lesson plan done, the curriculum done, the resources that I'm going to be used done. Like I said, everything has to be here's what I plan to teach her, what I plan to use, what resources I plan to use, how I plan to do it over this how many months. And then you have to submit it and they have to approve it. I think they do home visits as well. There's an interview, and then you have to do reporting, I think, every month. And there's check-ins. I haven't delved enough into it yet because this is just something that might happen. School hasn't started yet. We're waiting to see if they're going to change her class. If they don't, it's a no-go. She's not even going to try and return to be in a class with her bullies again. None of her friends, not a single one. But that's next week. So next week is D-Day. The school hasn't emailed me to let me know what they plan on doing. They're just like, oh, thanks for bringing that to our attention. We'll be in touch. So next week we'll find out. And then, yeah, I might end up being a homeschooling mum. So, and then I'm telling you right now, my youngest daughter, who has had school refusal from day one because she started prep in the pandemic, so she didn't go to school for really the first 2 years of school. Because as you know, Melbourne, we had very severe restrictions and lockdowns. And so her first 2 years of school was like at home with mum, and she loved it. She loved it. Both my kids are also on the spectrum. So it's been a battle with her for her entire primary schooling to get her to go to school. So if she sees that her sister's doing it from home, I don't think she'll even go to high school, which means I'll be homeschooling both of my daughters. And that's on top of being a single parent anyway, and working to support everybody in the house and trying to have some kind of time to myself as an introvert. It's going to be a lot, okay? I'm just going to have to rebalance everything. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I don't know how it's going to affect this channel, but just in case it does, I still plan on having a channel. It's still important to me to come and be here, but things might be juggled around a bit just because of unexpected life changes, which I'm just being very open-minded to. I'm looking forward to the Year of the Snake ending. That was not a fun time. I'm very much welcoming the Year of the Fire Horse. And if that just means charging ahead and different spontaneous things happening and whatever momentum, I'm here for it. I want change compared to what we've had. As you know, last year was a very rough year for me. So that's just what I wanted to say. Because we're going to book out the whole place stuff.
Ollie, hello. Alright everybody, meet Coco. Meet Coco, she's got a bit of hair in her eye. She's adorbs. Alright, time to eat everybody.
Okay guys, I'm back. Party went really well. Very happy with how everything went. A few of the kids didn't turn up, so because I already paid for them to make the dolls, me, my ex-sister-in-law and ex-husband got to make our own dolls as well. So that was fun. You would have seen Coco in the video already. Super cute. I went to the library. The kids are now at their dad's. So I got some books. We've got the Silver Book by Olivia Yang. It's got a very cool cover. What does this say? It is dangerous to want someone this much. He has always known it from the very first night. So two men meet by chance. Oh, is this gay? I think it is. Queer love story, noir-ish thriller set in the dream factory of cinema. It's a fictional account of real things. So interesting. Oh, it's got gentlemen. I didn't even realize there were people. Did you realize these were men? Because it was up like this, I didn't even realize. This I'm very excited to read. This is Audition for the Fox by Martin Cahill. I might read this for a short books reading vlog though, because it's only 180 pages. So I think I might do this in the short books vlog. But this is about someone who makes a prayer to the god, the fox of tricks. And the fox is always a prankster, trickster god. So things never go like you would think they would. But I'm interested to read this. There's little foxes on the chapter headers. But yeah, I might do this for my short books reading vlog. And then I got Son of the Morning by Akwaeke Emezi. I was like, oh, I don't know what their pronouns are they doing paranormal romance, steamy? Let me check that out. So this is set in the Black South. It's about a woman raised in a formidable clan of black women, and then she meets Lucifer Hillel, head of security. Wait a second. Head of security for her wealthy friend's family. This is paranormal, right? Gales know he's not human. Yes, okay, I was going to say, there's wings, bro. But maybe he hides his wings. Probably. We'll give it a go. Probably not for me, but it was there. It's free. We've got The Sacred Space Between by Kaylee Reed. Even a saint can be a sinner. This is magic, and it's about spies and institutions. The only thing Abby loves more than a saint is a martyr. So I think this has a really cool sprayed edge edition, so I wanted to test it out in case I really like it. But that's what I've got physically. I was meant to go to another library today, but it's Sunday, so I didn't realize they actually only open in the afternoon, and I've run out of time to go there. It's a bit far. I've got a spider in the corner. I'll deal with that in a second. But yeah, I am now going to put on my comfy clothes, eat food, because I have only eaten party food today, eat actual food, and maybe watch something. I'm a bit brain dead and, you know, exhausted. My hearing's starting to go, which means there's a POTS episode on the way, unless I can nip it in the bud, and then hopefully I can do that so I won't be chronic fatigued for the next day or two. But that's everything. I'll see you guys once I've started reading. Yes, this is what I got myself. I knew I would be hungry and exhausted after I came home, so hello Nova. I got some pastrami pear sandwiches on brioche, and I got this orange passion fruit panna cotta. Also, if anybody knows where I can get more hand-painted pansy plates, do let me know.
Look at her little fangs. So cute.
Hello everybody. I have got some updates for you. So yes, that's right. I was reading The Silver Book by Olivia Lang. This is a fictionalized account of a real life murder of Paolo Pasolini. Yes, whilst he was filming the film Salo. Salo is based on, is it the Marquis de Sade's 120 Days of Sodom, I think. So that's interesting. However, this book was not. So first of all, we're going to start with the grammar and the way that they've formatted it. So the dialogue is embedded into the text with no punctuation to discern it. So for me, that's a hard thing for my brain to do, to read a line and then go, oh, that was dialogue. I then have to go back and read it again, and that's frustrating. But the biggest thing for me was that it also felt very detached, the writing style. It was as if it's like leached of color, and maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that's why they've called it Silver Book, like gray. I don't know, but I wasn't feeling any emotion whatsoever. So I decided to DNF that. Sylvie's thrown her little toy into my daughter's gift bag. I got to get it out. She's going to make noise. Alrighty, Vegemite. So I have now gone on to The Sacred Space Between by Kaylee Reid. So this is a Gothic religious academia romantasy. So in this you have Jude. Jude is a saint. He's a problematic saint. And by that I mean he has been exiled to a haunted Moor estate because his miracles are a bit too spicy. And then we have Maeve, and Maeve is sent by the Abbey to paint his icon. He is a saint after all. But she's also kind of sent there to spy on him maybe a little bit. Jude, however, immediately clocks her as a narc and decides to scare her off using his combo of brooding, dangerous magic, and religious guilt. Unfortunately for him, both of them seem to have the same forbidden magic. I'm guessing they'll also have some chemistry, and I'm also guessing that the institution, the Abbey, the church, is probably hiding shit and has a secret agenda, because we all know churches love control more than they love God. So we'll see how it's going. I haven't found out exactly what their joint power is yet. I'm only on page 25, but you know, it's in the synopsis. So I'm intrigued to see what this thing is that they share. We've gotten a hint of it, but I'm still a bit perplexed. I'm not quite entirely sure what it is. We'll see how we go. At the moment, it's feeling a bit lackluster. I'm guessing this is one of those books that's going to be hinging upon the chemistry and the relationship between Jude and Maeve. Did I call her Mauve before? I hope I didn't. Maeve. So we'll see. At the moment, like, it's still good. It's still fine. It's still okay. I'll give it 100 pages. Am I reading anything else? No, I haven't got... Have I got anything else that I could read? Okay, I have to cut it before I stood up because I'm not wearing pants. If I don't like it, I'll go on to Son of the Morning by Kweki Emezi. So I've got options. There's also more books at the library. I just got to go and get them. Not today. Today is a public holiday and it's Australia Day, which is problematic. But I forgot that stores are closed. So my dumbass went to go and do things and was like, oh, why is everything shut? Oh yeah, It's colonizer day. Flirting with danger, Nova. You're flirting with danger there. Hello, let me put this down. Hi. Hi. You're so close on the edge though. You're so close. Hello. I love you. Hello guys, I do not have a reading update for you. Haven't read anything, but I am going out with my sister. So my sister is currently getting divorced. So I am supporting her, and I'm also one of her only last remaining single girlfriends. So we are going out today to a pub. It's a like bougie pub by the beach since it's so bloody hot. So I'll take you along with me. I think this is because this is actually It is? It is! I love the murals. Yeah. Hello!
Is this to me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that is for a reason.
That's cute.
Yeah, she said do not go there.
Why?
Oh! It does because of the palm trees. I got the mealworms, but they didn't eat the mealworms for some reason. I think maybe they only want live mealworms, so I'm giving them, what do you call it? I give them fruit or I give them sunflower seeds. None of the birds ate the mealworms, man. Only rats did. Good morning, my darlings. You didn't see me yesterday because yesterday it was 47 degrees. 47, which is like, I think 118 Fahrenheit. It's too hot. I love the heat, but that's too hot for me. So yeah, we barely survived and I got like 1 hour of sleep last night. I'm here to update you. I am DNFing The Sacred Space Between by Kaylee Reid. So this is about a saint and a painter who share a similar magic skill and fall in love and want to burn down the religious authority that uses them. I gave this 50%, so I really gave it a good shot. I'm going to say the writing style wasn't doing anything for me. The plot, not the plot, but the magic system I found confusing, and I wasn't really into the romance. It's definitely what you would say is a slow burn, but I didn't feel anything. The main character, Maeve, just was a bit dull for me. So I decided to DNF it because at best I was feeling it was like a 3-star. It was fine. It wasn't doing anything interesting. And yeah, time is short. So I tried, but it wasn't for me. And then I went into Son of the Morning by Akwaeke Emezi. And this is, well, people were calling it Bible erotica. I do think it is very insta-love. It is insta-love. And when I went and read some comments, it turns out to be a polycule. So there is another person that enters the fray. And once again, couldn't get into it. I didn't feel anything for the characters. It's very weird pacing wise because it's all happening besides the opening chapter where you're first introduced to the clan of women. It's all within a 48-hour period. It was just very, I don't know, like I said, I don't like insta-love. I don't like it. And there's something about it was just not connecting. So another DNF, unfortunately. I don't have any other physical books here. I'm reading other books from my other blogs on my e-reader, so I don't really want to pick up an e-book. I'd rather get a physical book, and I don't have any audiobook options at the moment. So I might try and pop into the library and see if there's anything there that I can just grab that kind of interests me. If I've got time today, because I've got to take Indiana to a dentist appointment today. She starts school tomorrow. My 14-year-old was meant to start today. They did not change her class. It looks like I will be homeschooling. So this week I'm not going to stress about it. Next week though, I've got to get on top of that and submit everything to the government and blah 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 and get it rolling. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. This was not a path I thought I was going to be taking, especially with no notice whatsoever. It is what it is. I'll always do what's best for my children, and I will find a way to make it work. I support her and just want her to be happy and well and feel safe. And if that's at home, then that's at home. So yes, I'm not sure how many books I'm going to be reading. I'm thinking of extending these mood reading vlogs to more than a week. Just playing around. So we'll see how we go, because like I said, I do feel like I am going to be reading less overall going forward. So there might be just 2 mood vlogs a month, but 2 weeks in length. I don't know. We'll see. That's everything, and I will see you later. Hello guys, it is Friday. I have been very busy with back to school. My dad was rushed to the hospital. He's okay now, kind of. He's having to undergo more tests and things, so I'm just trying to, you know, not stress about that, not be scared. It is very hard when your parent is unwell. It's very scary. And also I am now having to really get into what I'm going to be doing for homeschooling my teenage daughter. So there's a lot going on. I have listened to one book whilst I've been researching everything homeschool-wise, and that was My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. This is sort of a second chance that I was giving to Alice Feeney. It is a psychological thriller, domestic noir identity horror, I guess I would call it. The audiobook had a full cast. Unfortunately though, the main narrator, to me, she sounded like she had a lisp, so I didn't love listening to that. And also there was a narrator who voiced the cop in this, and he did not differentiate women's voices at all. He didn't even try. So didn't love that. There were sound effects. Sometimes they're fine, sometimes they're a bit irritating, but still it's good to have different voices for different characters, chapters. So this is about Eden Fox, who is an artist who's about to get her big break, and then one day after a run, she returns back to her gorgeous seaside house, Spyglass, to find that her key does not fit the lock anymore, that another woman is living in her house, and that her husband is insisting that this other woman is his wife. So it had a very interesting premise. We then flash back to 6 months earlier to a character named Birdie, who is this very reclusive Londoner who has received a terminal diagnosis. And she ends up being called also to this seaside village where Eden Fox lives. And whilst returning home, Birdie visits this clinic called Thanatos, which supposedly is able to predict your death date. And she learns when she is supposedly going to die, and decides that she's got some unfinished business to attend to in this town. And then there's a lot of, secrets piling up and identities blurring, and someone is lying, and obviously things are being manipulated, and there might be someone who's on a long, elaborate revenge game. This was not for me. I've given it a 3, and that's generous. I don't like thrillers where the narrator is unreliable. And even though you are in these people's heads, they are purposely not revealing truths. Like, they are leaving things out when they are talking to people, and you are being purposefully misled. And I hate that. That's not twisty to me. That's just you lying. You're lying to the reader by being in all these people's heads, and they're talking to someone. They know who that person is, but they're not alluding to the fact that they know who that person is. And things like that. I hate it. There was another book that did that, and I can't remember what it was, but for me, that's not a cool twist, bro. It's just you're purposefully withholding information from us so that it can be twisty at the end. Also, the main character, Birdie the cop, didn't like her. She was very angry. She swore a lot. Everyone's a bitch. And you know what I mean? Like, just a nasty person. And I hated being in her head. And just when everything goes down at the end, it just felt silly. It felt silly. So it wasn't for me. And I understand that I'm not really a thriller person. There are only very few thrillers that I like. And like I said, this style of one with the unreliable narrators isn't for me. I would say you would like this if you really like unreliable narrators, morally grey women, and being gaslit. Something similar to this, it reminded me of rock, paper, scissors, which was the previous book I read by Alice Feeney, so it was similar to that. So maybe that will be for you. I am now listening to, Libby dumped a whole bunch of audiobooks yesterday onto the app, so I was like, I happened to be there when it happened, so I got a lot of books. I am listening to The Door by Magda Sabor, and this is sort of like a litfic psychological drama classic. It's a classic, and in this you have Magda, and she is this Hungarian writer who hires a housekeeper named Emerence, and Emerence is a local legend. She is obviously a great cleaner. She feeds stray animals, and she refuses to also let anyone inside her house, which is a bit sus. And I'm just early into it, so far, like I said, it's just Magda talking about Emerence and us learning. I will give you guys a big trigger warning for animals being killed. That is very unpleasant, and it did anger me, but I am interested enough in the characters to see how this plays out. Like, I don't know where this is going to go. Has it got any magical realism in it? Is it going to be horror based on like the animal deaths? It feels that way. I don't know. So I'm going to continue on and see how I feel about it as it goes on. But yeah, it was the animal stuff very quick out the gate. It was a bit hard to stomach. But that's what I've got going on there. I'm going to the library today, in the city library. I'm going to take my 14-year-old with me since she's at home now. So she's going to be coming with me on my out and abouts. And I will show you my library haul when I get home, see what I can pick up. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I meant to get the salmon, but I forgot, and I ordered the fish biscuit again. That's okay, Liz.
Crackle, crackle, crackle. Oh yeah, it did crackle then. Very cool.
Okay, I'm back. What a busy day. We were gone all day. I had to come home, go straight away to pick up my daughter. I bought a few things. So I got a yellow bra finally. Hey Sylvie, do you want to say hello? Sylvie loves it when hey Sylvie, say hello. Finally got, yes, a yellow bra. All I need now is a silver set and a dark purple, and then I've got something for every color in my wardrobe. I like matching lingerie. I actually don't like having contrasting lingerie. Hey, beautiful girl again. Sylvie, I love you. So much attention from Sylvie, but so sweaty though. What was I going to say? I was listening to The Door. Bro, the amount of animal abuse, and the second main character, Emerence, was beating the dog. And it's not just like, oh, one time she beat the dog. She beat the dog repeatedly, and like the dog was cowering, but it took its beating. And I'm like, fuck you, man. No, like, fuck off. I'm sorry. It got really gratuitous, and I'm like, what's the reasoning for this? Why are we subjected to all these on-page animal abuse scenes from this housekeeper? It's not even her dog. It's her employer's dog, and she's beating it. And I'm like, fucking hell. Sorry, I got really angry about it. It was not nice. So I DNF'd that. That's out. I then picked up Vigil by, I think it's George Saunders, I think. And this had an interesting premise in which we see this sort of angel of death plummet to the earth to take her next charge through the last like breath of their life. And it was giving, the synopsis is giving, hey, Bluebell's here too. I'm stroking two pussies at the same time. It was giving Christmas Carol in that our main person, Jill, was sent to this really, you know, big billionaire, successful businessman's last, you know, moments of life, and him being visited by people from throughout his life. So it was giving that, but the way that it was written, not my style. I found it very, very, very confusing, and I had to stop, go back to Goodreads, read the plot synopsis so I could understand what's happening right now. Also, no quotation marks. I don't know what this new trend is with dialogue not having quotation marks, but at least they, what do you call it? Not indented it. Good Lord. But you know what I mean? They took it out of the meat of the paragraph and put it on a separate line so I could understand. I didn't like the style. So I did decide to DNF that one as well, which sucks because it sounded very cool, but just the way it was being executed, it didn't jive with my brain. But I went to the library, forgot to return the book that I was meant to return. So I'm gonna have to either go back to the library or drive to one of their different locations, because I've decided I'm not going into the city as much. It takes a lot out of me, and most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, it triggers a POTS episode, which once again it did, because there's just so much walking and public transport, so I can't drive there really. So I'm going to be going to the city less and just going to suburbs, which I can drive to in my car and have my aircon on, so my temperature's regulated and I'm not walking. I picked up Slow Gods by Claire North. So I think I saw Monty read this recently, but this finally came in. I reserved it straight away because it sounded interesting to me. So this is set in space. It's a sci-fi. It's about being reborn into something not quite human. And it's about a supernova event that burned planets and felled civilizations. I've lived since I died for the first time. How many lives? So interesting. We'll see how I go with it. I also got in for Christmas, because some lovely people donated to the channel. I gifted myself with an Evernight subscription. So this is a quarterly, so 4 times a year horror book, what do you call it? Horror subscription box. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of the months because it's expensive, because it comes all the way from England. I don't know why they don't allow people from Australia to do the US option, because we have more bang for our buck with the US dollar for one, and the shipping is also less expensive from the US to Australia than from Britain to Australia. Oh my God, I'm struggling to open this. I have already peeked. I don't like being surprised. I wanted to see what I was getting, and luckily for me, so I got the book only. Luckily for me, this is actually a book that was already on my TBR. So it's one I was already interested in. So that goes well. Pretty much what I'm going to see is, if I don't like the book, I might cancel. If I like the book, I'll give the second one a go. You can also pause your subscription. So if you don't like the next book that's coming, I think you can skip it, which is great. But yes, this was one that I was wanting. So this is We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer. I'll put another picture on the screen of what the original cover is like. I don't remember it. So they're going very dark. These are the sprayed edges, which are really lovely. Let me have a look at those. Simple, but nice. So let's have a look at the inside. I'm trying not to peek. Oh, that's so interesting and dark. We've got some scribblings of some very weird creatures. I love printing on the cover. Oh, what is it? This upside down. What is going on? This might be a dark read. Wait, is this a mistake? They've printed the books upside down. Or did they put I think they just put the dust jacket cover. Yeah, it's just okay, they put the dust jacket cover on upside down. For a second I thought I'd be going into the upside down. No. It was just upside down in the book, because that is also fine. Oh, hang on. No, I'm wrong, because now these guys are upside down. Should I tell them? I might just tell them, like, hey, I think you've printed the outside and then the inside the opposite way. Yeah. But is this signed? I'm just going to check. I don't think so. Oh, it is. It's signed. It doesn't bother me that much. Like, I won't be requesting a different copy. I'm just going to let them know, like, is this accidentally upside down, so I can confirm. But what's this about? Let me have a look. Britain, 2 years after they came. Most people have been devoured by the eldritch creatures. Sarah and her family are fighting for survival. The only thing that works against these monsters, these witches, is knowledge of folklore and pagan rituals. Okay, so that's cool. So it's a pagan witchcraft book, but like I said, this was on my TBR, so when I saw that it was a book I was familiar with, I don't know which way to do it now. It feels wrong to put it in this way with these images upside down, but that's the way it is. So yeah, we'll see what I end up rating this. I might give it one more shot, but I just don't know if it's worth the price because it's very expensive, and like I said, I only got it thanks to the generosity of other people, but I wanted to try it out. Sylvie's found herself a new box. Do you want me to move this stuff out? Here we go. Let me move it there. That's cozier for you. You've got a new home. Oh, you're so cute. Oh yeah, you're gonna eat the sticky tape. Oh, nums. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're gonna get in? You better get in, because if Bubbles sees it, she's totally gonna steal that box. All right, we'll see how we go. So that, yeah. If this isn't working, I'll go on to this one. How exciting. What else did I do? I got some bath bombs from Lush from Indiana. We went out for lunch. I accidentally got the beef brisket again. I was meant to get the salmon. It's very hot today. And I was like, salmon would be good for me. I don't cook it enough at home, but my brain went and ordered the wrong thing. The juice was delicious though. It is so hot. And anything else? I'm just trying to think. No, I think that's everything. So I'll touch base with you guys. I am going to extend these vlogs. So I think I'm just going to do 3 mood reading vlogs per month and just go longer, because otherwise I've only read 1 book so far and it's Friday, and I'm meant to be finishing this vlog tomorrow, which would mean 1 book read. And tomorrow I might be going to the tennis with my sister. I'm not sure if it's going to happen tomorrow or Sunday. So yeah, I might do 10 days, I was thinking. But then that means 30 days, and some months don't have 30 days. Maybe I'll figure it out, 9 days. I feel like Zoolander when I do that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm extending these more than a week from now on, because like I said, life is busier now, and I'm just not going to be able to read as much as I used to read, which is it's not a bad thing, but it just means, yeah, I've got to play around with this. See you soon. We've got a big spider under there. Hi. Oh, I love it when you say I love you and they close their eyes. It's so cute.
Oh, I love her. She's so comfortable. How comfortable is she? Because she's staying on for so long.
She's super comfy.
You can't escape.
They must be famous sports people.
Spectacular tennis from the junior girls and riding atmosphere.
Yeah. Sisters! Woo! Coming!
Look at her little fangs. So cute.
On the hunt for a gym.
Hey, Nova. Pizza. Pizza thief. Not sure what this is, but I wanted the savouring fiocchi.
She always comes and looks for you. She always comes and looks for him. She loves him. You have to send you the video. Yeah, she loves him.
Beautiful, yeah.
We got new treats.
Oh, normally have treats on hand, yeah.
So could I do pass you don't carry?
It feels so nice.
So it's not worth it for me. I'll make the last round.
It's not that as tight as I'd like it because of the glue.
You come too, come on.
So cute. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
So many smells. Oh my god.
What's she doing?
Hey guys, it's been a couple of weeks since I last spoke to the camera, so my life has been really chaotic. I had to take a break for my mental health. My dad's been in and out of the hospital, so I'm just trying to spend as much time with him as possible, and the homeschooling has me just flat out. There is very little time for anything else, let alone creating content. One, I don't have as much time to read anymore, but two, because I am essentially reading while I am homeschooling my daughter, after we've done like a day of homeschooling, I just don't feel like picking up a book to read that much. So my channel's going to look a bit different going forward. I think pretty much instead of 8 to 10 videos per month, it's going to be more like 4 videos per month. So I'm axing some things like short books. I'm just going to absorb reading short books into my mood reading blogs. So I will still be trying to make sure I read some short books every month because I really fucking love short books. But yes, that's going. Weird might end up being every second month. I don't know. I'm still going to try to keep that per month. But yeah, it's just my life is very different now. And I have to prioritize different things. And like I said, my free time has been greatly diminished and it is what it is. So I've just got to roll with it. I've just got to adapt and find a new rhythm. So I still hope to continue this channel. It's just going to be in a reduced capacity compared to what I usually did. So I don't even know how many books I'm going to end up reading per month going forward. It's just going to be very different to what has come before. But I also, yes, so in this couple of weeks period, I DNF'd a lot of books. I do think that, like I said, my mental health, my mental state at that time did affect it. Can't be entirely sure, but you know, I think it might have come into play. So I did decide to then, after DNFing book after book after book, whenever I did find a minute to sit down, I did feel the urge to read. I decided just to get a NetGalley arc because I knew that I would complete that. And I was trying to sort of break the pattern of DNFing, kind of. So I picked up The SUN and the STARMAKER by Rachel Griffin, which is narrated by Susie Jacob. So this is a YA wintry romantasy with fairy tale vibes. It is about a young cantankerous 18-year-old girl discovers she has rare light magic and she gets swept to a remote ice castle to train under he's been 19 for a really long time, grumpy, secretive sorcerer whose job is literally hauling sunshine over the mountains. So our main character, her name is Aurora, and she, when the book opens, is already betrothed to just a regular dude. And in this world, unions benefit people in more ways than one, in that once you marry someone, you end up getting what's called a glare line, because in this remote village of, I think it was Reverie, sunlight is scarce. There's not a lot of sunlight. There's a disease known as the frost, which can kill people. And Aurora's family farm is built on the side of the mountain that gets no sunlight. So they've used 100 well-placed mirrors to try to get some kind of sunlight so they can grow crops. But yes, this union between her and this guy is going to install a permanent high beam, which will benefit everybody. Her sister also is dying from the frost sickness, so that's also in play. Right when she's about to marry this regular dude, fate intervenes, and she's given an unrefusable counteroffer, and that is, surprise, you're going to be the next, is it StarMaker? Yeah, you're going to be the next StarMaker, and you need to learn how to harness your sun magic before it cooks you from the inside. So she has to train under this very thorny guy, aka the Sunshine Delivery Man, who insists that she has to come to his icy castle for them to train, just the two of them, together, isolated, in a frost palace, where he will provide her zero emotional availability and infinite rudeness, but also one immortal rabbit who's kind of cool. So this is a romantasy with fairy tale bones. It was reminding me of The Beauty and the Beast, and I'm just gonna move that because I'm sweating. Beauty of the Beast and Frozen, I would say, the main two. The books mostly focused on the romance, but it's also got a bit of a vibe going with its snowy forests, its creaking ice castles, and the sunlight spilling over the mountain like a cozy blanket. It's very light versus dark, duty versus desire. Unfortunately, yeah, this was just not for me. The two things I liked about it were the cover and the prologue. In regards to the audio, so this was an audiobook, as I previously mentioned, I didn't like the voice that the narrator did for the main MMC because she just made him a bit too gruff. And so his incessant rudeness paired with that voice just made him sound like a bit of a dick and a bit of an old dick. In regards to the story, it was very much telling over showing. You do have to suspend your disbelief in regards to the magic and the world building. Like, for instance, we find out that the StarMaker can very easily heal people who have frost sickness. So then it's like, well, why is this frost sickness such a big deal if there is a cure and the guy has to use his magic so he doesn't incinerate himself? Why isn't he just healing the sick? There's a lot of things like that. So yeah, there's just inconsistencies in regards to this world. The pacing of the story is also very uneven, and the dialogue is quite unnatural sounding. The romance goes from this very annoying bickering to instant deep love, and I just didn't buy it. I also find the age difference icky. Like, yeah, he looks like he's 19, she's 18, but he's not 19. He's not 19. She's also flip-flopping between the two men, so her previous fiance and him, in a way that just makes no fucking sense. Just really inconsistent choices and personality. The sex scene that was in this book, it was PG, so it's not graphic, but it just felt very out of place because the book feels YA. If you told me this was YA, I'd be like, yeah, of course it is. No, it's not. It's meant to be adult. She's 18, I guess, new adult, but it feels like a YA book. The characters are just, I don't like them. I found them insufferable. And like I said, it's pretty much no plot, just romance. The only stakes in this book are if the StarMakers refuse to do their job. We also have an opening scene where we're being introduced to Aurora, where she goes to kill this very beautiful white stag that she's just minding its own business, and we are hearing in her head that she doesn't really need to kill it, that their family can live off other food. It's not a, kill or die situation. And yet she still continues to try to kill it. So when her first arrow misses, she knocks up another one. And it turns out that also it's actually fucking illegal to kill white stags. But she just, I forgot. So when she's reprimanded, like, hey, don't fucking kill the deer, she just goes on the defensive and attacks. She just attacks that person back. Like, how dare you tell me what I can and can't do? And they're like, it's fucking illegal. And she's like, oh, well, I forgot. I hated her so much, and she didn't win me over as the book went on. She just became even more of a selfish brat. I reference back to that whole only stakes if the StarMakers refuse to do their job bit. So unfortunately I severely dislike this book. I gave it a 1.5. However, I think you might like it if you like romance that is fated and a little bit star-crossed, and you enjoy very broody, distant love interests who need an emotional defrosting. Similar books, and I say this very tenuously very tenuously similar, I cannot talk today, Uprooted, The Bear and the Nightingale, and obviously stuff like Frozen and Beauty and the Beast. So with the arcs now, I'm starting to second guess my personal preference of feeling like you have to finish the book to give a full review, because now I'm thinking, is it better to read the book in full, knowing that you're going to end up giving it a 1 or a 2 stars, or is it better to DNF, tell them, look, this is my review and what I read, this is why I'm choosing to DNF it, so that way you don't end up rating it lowly? What's better? I actually don't know anymore. I'm starting to second guess my, like I said, thing to always finish the book, because I'm handing out a lot of 1 and 2 stars to these arcs. So the next book I picked up was We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer, because I'd gotten that in the Evernight Illumicrate subscription. And I did say that it had to rate highly for me to continue the subscription. I'm not going to be continuing the subscription. I've already cancelled it. So this is a queer folk horror speculative fiction. It is about a family who is constantly on the run, using pagan trinkets as protection, who adopt a concussed, mysterious girl and immediately lose one of their children to eldritch horror beasts, and decide that this is the week they finally stop hiding and they fight back instead. So we have Sarah, whose family has mastered the art of moving fast, warding hard, and trusting no one, until they find a girl named Parsley sleeping in their garden like a forgotten herb. And while everyone else is thinking, this bitch be sus, our main girl Sarah be thinking, this chick be hot. Cue weird witch monsters, stolen children, and a bold plan that is basically them heading straight to the nightmare zone. The main themes in this are found family, surviving, running versus fighting, and childhood that's been shaped by danger. So the main character in this is 18. However, this read very YA. Besides the nipple play scenes, it felt very YA. The sapphic romance in this felt forced. I guess I should explain the plot a bit more. I was a bit vague. In this world, one day out of nowhere, these eldritch creatures appear. So they're like a combination of humans and nature, or like garbage bags, like their environment. These very, you know, creepy, disgusting creatures, and they just decimated the human population. There's not many people left that survived. Supposedly, the ones that survived somehow managed to figure out that old school witch practices, like pagan rituals and things, wards them off. So think things like woven rowan sticks and hag stones, you know, anything to do with paganism is a protection. And so this family just goes from house to house, setting up wards to protect them from these eldritch creatures, but there seems to be very few humans left. We have, like I said, this main family. One of Sarah's siblings is named Danny. They are a they, them, and they are a fucking massive dickhead. They literally physically assault Sarah, slap her across the face. I just could not stand them. The mum is just emotionally detached, just focused only on setting up perimeters and safety. She's not really mumming, so Sarah's become a mum to these, you know, 2 other younger children, one of whom gets kidnapped. I think I've already said the sapphic romance felt forced. It didn't buy it. It's very insta-love. And the whole concept, so I have a big issue. This is called We Call Them Witches. And that's in reference to surviving humans called these eldritch creatures witches. And I'm like, why the fuck would you call them witches? And it's because witch practices protect against them. So I'm like, what you're saying is that things that witches use repel these creatures, and you're going to call those creatures witches. That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. They are repelled essentially by witches, women. So if you're someone who works witchcraft, you would have been a survivor, because you would have had all your little witchcrafty things and you would have survived. So the witches would have lived. Witches are enemies then of these creatures. That's what makes sense to me. Witches are the natural enemies of these eldritch creatures. Why would you call them witches? It's just so fucking confusing. And this is how it is for this whole world. Once again, you have to suspend your disbelief. You are not really going to get a proper idea of the world building or the magic in this, or the what, why, when, reason of these things occurring. It's just about this family running and hiding until this mysterious Herbie girl shows up and, you know, causes chaos, and then they have to go and rescue the brother. That's it. That's the whole book. Don't expect any more depth. It is very surface level. I didn't care about any of the characters in this book whatsoever. There was like a side cat, and I'm like, I care about the cat. Luckily, nothing happens to the cat. It wasn't very scary. For an adult horror book, like I said, it reads very YA, and it's very basic. I chose not to renew the subscription. It's not worth the money. I'd rather just hold out hope that if a book I read is 5 stars and there was a pretty edition of it, that I can buy it secondhand. I didn't like this book. I gave it, what did I end up giving it? 2, which is a generous 2 stars. I think because I read a very pretty copy of it and I paid so much money, that did fluff up my rating. I think you'd like it if you like, I'd say like folklore, if you like folk horror and pagan magic, but I don't think that was also delved into very much besides, oh, this pagan thing that you make works as well. And maybe if you're someone who just enjoys survival horror stories, because that's essentially what this is. They're on the run, they're just trying to survive. Similar things to this, it reminds me of The Bear, which is, you know, about young children and a mother who have to flee and go on the run when these weird werewolf creatures start killing everybody. These creatures came out of nowhere. So it's similar in that respect. And maybe the movie The Witch, perhaps, but yeah, so I just didn't read much. Just been trying to find my footing with all of the changes in my life, and then the books that I did manage to read were not great. But let me sum up all the books I read for this reading vlog. So I read, I'm also not going to be doing my end of month wrap-ups. I suck at those, okay? I always fuck them up. There's too much having to keep track of everything and statistics, and I'm not good at that stuff right now. So I'm letting them go. We're saying goodbye. Maybe in my last mood reading vlog, I'll let you know, going forward, not now, what my favorite book cover of the month was and what my favorite read of that month was. I'll just chuck it in there. I might do the tarot card pulls randomly during my mood reading if I don't know what to read and just want a prompt. Just playing around. We're playing around. But yes, just sort of let you know. I read My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney, which I gave 3 stars. She Went for a Run. She Came Back a Stranger. We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer, which I gave 2 stars. They Watered the House. Forgot to Ward Against the Herbie Girls. And The Sun and the Starmaker by Rachel Griffin, narrated by Susie Jacob, which I gave 1.5 stars. Ice Castles, Sun, Magic, and Selfish Brats. Those were all the books that I read for this reading vlog. Let me know down below if you were in a situation where eldritch creatures appeared. Would you choose the just run and hide option, or would you try to fight back and take back ground? Let me know down below. And until next time, stay well, Star Child.